Hey y'all, this is Amanda and welcome back to my Texas Zone 8A garden, and today we are doing an unboxing with plants from Proven Winners Direct. So stay tuned to see what I ordered and where they're going in the garden. Okay, so this most recent order is from Proven Winners Direct, and these are all Heucheras or coral bells. They're known by two different names, and I'm super excited because they're going to bring a lot of fall color to my garden, but they're also going to bring a different element of color that I don't typically have seasonally. I don't have it in the spring, I don't have it in the summer. They'll die back in the winter. These are all perennials, and I'm really excited to add a little bit of a more unique texture and foliage to my garden. So you can go on provenwinnersdirect.com and you can pick out any plants that they have online. It gives a lot of information. It allows you to find out what your zone is and what plants work best in there in your zone. They even have a chat area where you can call and ask questions about the plants. Really great. This is like my third or fourth order from them, and it's going really well, and I've been really pleased with the entire process. But let's go ahead and get to the unboxing, because every time I order plants, everybody's like, really? Plants in the mail? Yes, that is the way to go, because these are plants that I cannot find in my area. While Proven Winners is definitely available nationwide, not every plant is available right by you, right? Some of their coolest plants you can't get. You have to drive so far to find them. And so being able to find them online makes the whole process a lot easier. So let's get them unboxed. Okay, I'm going to start with the smaller boxes. As always, they have these little tabs in here that are kind of punched in, so you have to come in here and you have to pull them out to kind of open it up, and that kind of releases the plant. It basically, when those are punched in, it holds the plant in one place. There's always holes in here. They're always marked live plant. Sometimes you can't always control how the mail treats them, but usually it goes well. If it doesn't, you can always call customer service and they will help you out. So first, plants. Slide this open. Oh, so pretty. A little bit of the soil is loose, which makes me think it might have got flipped in the process, but everything still looks really, really good. And I think the tag, here's the tag. This one right here is called PRIMO Black Pearl Heuchera, and this is a perennial. This was a perennial of the year, I don't know, in 2018. So pretty. About 8 to 10 inches tall. It gets about 26 inches wide. That's awesome. That's huge. Absolutely beautiful. Perennial in zones 4 to 9, hardy to -30 degrees. Blooms midsummer, preferred sun to shade. Awesome. Okay, so that's my first one. Looks really, really good. The soil is still slightly moist, so it's not overly dry. I have a little bit of browning, but that's no big deal. Okay, so there's number one. Let's switch to the other single. This one looks like it got a little bit crushed in the mail, if you guys can see right there. So it'll be interesting to see what the plant looks like. So let's see how it did in the process. I feel like ordering plants online is the next big thing. I feel like that's what a lot of people are going to be doing, because ordering online gives you a lot of access to things that you can't necessarily get in the area. Okay, in here is their Proven Winners catalog, which I'm not going to lie, I have like 5 of them. I'm sure you're not surprised. Okay, let's see what this guy is. Oh, he looks a little bit different than the other one. I think I ordered 4 different varieties. So let's see. This guy is called DOLCE WILDBERRY, and he is a perennial Heuchera. And he gets about 10 to 14 inches tall. Minimum size, so it's about 16 inches wide, so a little bit smaller in width. perennial in zones 4 to 9, hardy to -30 degrees, blooms in early summer. So this was early summer and this one blooms in midsummer, and it prefers sun to shade. So let's take a look. The soil is slightly dispersed, and I do have a couple of broken leaves. This one right here, well, that might be all actually. So not bad at all, considering this one obviously, you know, had been flipped or turned upside down. So it does make me feel really good about their packing. Their packages, while it looks plastic, it's not. It is plastic, but it's perforated all the way through, and then this side is like a cottony material. So the whole plant can breathe really, really well in their shipping containers. Okay, so we have 2 varieties so far. There should be at least 2 more varieties. So let's see what we got in this big guy right here. I feel like the bigger boxes travel a little bit better than the smaller boxes. So when I get the boxes of 4 like this, I feel pretty confident about them. Okay, so I see green. Let's go with the green first. Oh, y'all. Oh my gosh. Oh. Give it a little shake. Oh my gosh, that's stunning. I do not see my tag in here, but it could have gotten caught in here. That's okay. I also have a packing slip. Let me get my packing slip. Okay. Packing slip. Dolce Apple Twist. Is that what this is? I think this one is Apple Twist, Dolce Apple Twist. Super pretty, super lush. So I can't find my tag, but there's another one of these in here. So let me see if the other one has the tag and I can read you the information about it. If not, I'll find it online and drop it below. Okay, the next one. And it looks like I only ordered 1 of the Dolce Apple Twist. So let's see if this next one is. Nice and full and stunning. And here's its tag over here. This one is called Cherry Truffles, Dolce Cherry Truffles. And you can see it has a little bit more of like a pinkier tone, reddish pinky tone, compared to this one was the, I'm gonna have a hard time with these names. In the beginning, this one was the WILDBERRY, so a little more purple tone, right? You can definitely see the cherry tones on this one. And then this one was the Black Pearl. Just a little deeper too. So pretty. Okay, awesome. That one is gorgeous. Let me read the information on that tag. Oh, all right. So this one is Dolce right here. Dolce Cherry Truffles, perennial Heucheras, and it is 8 to 10 inches tall, 26 inches as for what they're asking for spacing. So that makes me think this is about 26 inches wide eventually. Perennial in zones 4 through 9, hardy to -30 degrees. This one blooms early to mid. So right now we do have an early, we have a mid. I'm not sure about that Apple Twist. We'll look it up. And then this one is early to mid as well. All shade to sun, sun to shade, I should say. Okay. I think these next 2 are repeats of the Black Pearl and the WILDBERRY. So let's see. Yeah, I think this one right here is the Black Pearl. That's what it looks like for me, but let me look. Nope, Cherry Truffles. I should have looked closer. Oh, I mean, it's right there. I should. So I do have 2 of the Cherry Truffles. That looks good. I'm running out of space. That's a good problem to have. Okay, and this last one is the WILDBERRY again. Absolutely beautiful. Give it a little shake. This one has a little bit of damage on this side, but it's no problem. You can just clip that off and be ready to go. Okay, so let's take a look at all of these together. Okay, here's the 4 varieties that I ordered. This is the Apple Twist. This is the Cherry Truffles, This one right here is black pearl, and this one is wildberry. Absolutely beautiful. You can see all the fall color that I'm talking about, y'all, right? So this is interesting, it's different. And those of y'all who know my garden well, you know that I don't have a lot of other variety besides greens in my gardenscape. So this is a really big step for me to kind of step out of the box, do something a little bit different with this. And these are gonna be planted in an area that gets mostly morning sun, teeny bit of afternoon sun, and then shade the rest of the day. So I think it's gonna work really, really well. So a little bit about Heucheras, and they are typically grown for their foliage, and you can see by this, very unique. The more shaded they are, the more likely they're gonna have more green tones. If they get a little bit more sun, then they're gonna go to these richer tones right here. So that's something to kind of be aware of when you're placing them in your landscape. They also will have some tall, spindly, beautiful blooms. The blooms are great. They're very whimsical, fairy-like, and interesting. They're not typically grown for that. However, I do appreciate them. I think they're almost like sparkles, especially when you clip them and you add them into arrangements, because they tend to be very delicate. Okay, so basically I'm going to be working in a space up front where I've typically had a lot of dianthus for quite a while. I used to have a hedge of dianthus, and over the years, just pieces and portions of the dianthus have died back, so now my hedge is super spotty. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean out the whole dianthus hedge. There's also a few super petunias. I'm going to pull all that out, and I'm going to be working with these darker tone Heucheras in that area. Now, the apple twist is going in a different project, a different area of the garden, but I did go ahead and include it in the shipment so that I had it for that particular project. But these are going to be working into a particular area, and then I'm also going to be backfilling it with some additional dianthus, the Proven Winners dianthus, at a later point in time. And then in addition, today I'm going to go ahead and tuck in some Super Petunia honey tone petunias. Now, these petunias are super tiny. They haven't really done much of anything yet, but I'm going to go ahead and get them into the ground and get them going, because I think that beautiful honey tone, and I'll put that color up on the screen, mixed in with these deep tones of the wildberry and the black pearl and the cherry truffles Heucheras, will be just stunning. Absolutely amazing seeing that contrast in color. And if you watched some of my other recent films, you might have remembered on the side of the house I did some purple petunias mixed with the honey petunias, another purple yellow kind of contrast. And that's what's going to be happening again, repeating that in my garden, not necessarily matching but complementary. So these purple tones of the leaves mix in with the honey yellow tones of the petunias. So let me show you where these are going to go. Okay, so right along here, I used to have a dianthus hedge that went all the way across, and this is the dianthus right here. And these were picked up from Walmart for like 25 cents, 50 cents off season. And it was one of the original things that I first put in this garden. And it used to go from this guy all the way across, all the way that way. So almost about 10 feet. And over the years, different portions of it have died back. So now it's become very spotty. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be pulling out this dianthus, and I know y'all are sad, I'm going to be pulling out the Super Petunias. It's just time to change some things out. I'm really, really excited. So I'm going to get that cleared out first, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to lay out where the Heucheras are going to go. So I've got all of this area cleaned out. Feels really good. I'm very, very happy with the soil. I really dug through and tried to pull out, roots for grass, because once you have Bermuda grass, it's the worst. But lots of worms. The soil is just, it's lovely, y'all. It's taken a while to get here. This is me adding compost, adding shale, adding different things over the course of the last few years, but this front soil is just beautiful. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go through, I'm going to place in the Heucheras, get those planted. I'm going to be utilizing Plant Tone as a fertilizer for those when I put those in. And then on the front row, I'm going to come across with the Super Tunias. Now the Super Tunia honeys are super tiny. I haven't been paying attention to them as much as I should have, but they really need to get into the ground, and I can guarantee you in 2 to 3 weeks they're going to be stunning. So let's get that knocked out. I mean, look how beautiful that is. What a change in this space. Look at it tying in with that purple oxalis in the containers on the porch. Okay, so right here we have the Dolce WILDBERRY. This is the Dolce Cherry Truffles. This is Black Pearl. This is a WILDBERRY again, and this is another Cherry Truffles. So I didn't get all the same. However, they all flow really well to one another, right? But it still creates some contrast and some interest. Now, I told you the Super Tunias are super tiny. Boom, boom, boom. It's my fault. They used to look a lot prettier. I've had them sitting in their pots too long. But I got them in the ground and I still have growing. I mean, my first frost isn't until November 22nd. I still have a lot of time. So those should grow up and fill in really beautifully. And then I still have some room. I'm also going to be working in some dianthus, some more dianthus. I haven't decided what type or what color, but I'm going to work those in as well, because these are all perennials, these Heucheras are, and then the dianthus will be the perennial. And I'm really trying to create more contrast in my mostly green landscape, right? And you can kind of see it all coming together. Really, really pretty. I'm so excited, in love with these. Absolutely beautiful. Okay, so I'm losing the light very quickly, but I am so excited that I got this project done. I am in love with the change in color on the front of the house. This is beautiful. So much more contrast, so much more interest. Perennials, which I'm always excited about because there's less upkeep and maintenance on those. I don't have to change them out every year with the annuals, like the annuals, so I'm excited about that. It's almost 7:45 in the evening and it is down into the low 70s. It feels amazing. Starting next week, we are going to be dipping into the lower 60s, so fall is coming. However, our first frost isn't until the 3rd week in November. All right, you guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video and seeing me unbox these plants from PRIMOWintersDirect.com and seeing them get planted up in my landscape. As always, she's a mad gardener or a decorator or anything else that she wants to be. Thanks, y'all.